Hello friends, welcome back again. In today's video, I'll talk about how to calculate the number of agents required. This is the most important question that is generally asked in the interview and you should be aware about it. So now let's start with the video. So you can see that on my screen, I have taken some numbers and on the basis of that, we have to calculate number of agents required. So we have taken calls 14,000 in a day. After that, we have AHT, which is average handle time. And we know the formula for AHT is total talk time that includes your after call work hold time divided by total calls answered. So that we have taken 4.5 minutes, service level 90% in 40 seconds. It means that 90% of call should be answered in 40 seconds to get to 90% of service level. Occupancy, we have taken 75%, and we know occupancy is total productive time divided by total scheduled time. And after that, we have taken shrinkage 24%. We cannot expect all the agents to be occupied 100%, so we have to factor in some shrinkage percentage. So we have taken 24% shrinkage. And on the basis of these components, we have to calculate how many number of agents we need to have in a day to handle 14,000 calls with average handle time of 4.5 minutes. So first, we can simply calculate workload. So the workload formula would be your calls multiplied by your AHT. So here we have calls 14,000 and AHT is 4.5. So that is 63,000. So that is in minutes. So we have to convert that into hours. So we can simply convert that into hours by having the workload divided by 60. So these are the number of hours we have in workload. So let me just put it down. So I hope that is clear till now. After that, we have to calculate and apply the occupancy and shrinkage. So now let's apply the occupancy. With occupancy, so the calculation would be your these workload hours divided by your occupancy, which is 75%. So after applying the occupancy, we need to have 1400 hours. And then we have to apply the shrinkage. Let me just put it down with shrinkage. So apply the shrinkage on occupancy hours divided by bracket open 1 minus 24% bracket close and enter. So these are the number of hours we have after applying the shrinkage. Now we have all the components with all of the numbers. It is very simple now to find out the number of agents. So let me just quickly put it down. Number of agents, how many number of agents we need to have at the day end. So here with shrinkage, we have these hours, and one agent shift is 8 hours. It could be 8 or 9 hours depending on the company policies. But here I'm assuming it would be 8 hours and then hit the enter. So these are the number of FTEs we need to have to handle 14,000 calls in one day. So these are the number of agents we need to have in one day to handle 14,000 calls with AHT of 4.5 minutes. In case if you have any doubt, you can just mention in the comment section. So now let's talk about the second questions. So this is the second question. We have calculate occupancy rate. We have agent shift of 8 hours, talk time 300 minutes, after call work 70 minutes, break and offline 110 minutes. By that way, how we can find out the occupancy rate? Here the formula is kind of very simple, and this question is very simple. There is not having too many components to find out the occupancy. So first we have to calculate the productive time. What would be the productive time here from this calculation from these numbers? And the productive time would be your total talk time plus your after call work. Breaks and offline will not be part of productive time. So here these are the minutes the agent was actually occupied. In break and offline, agents are not assisting the customers. So they could be on break, offline coaching, training, any other kind of unproductive works in which they are not assisting the customers. So we have the productive time of 370 minutes. And now we have the after call work of 70 minutes, break and offline of 110 minutes, and talk time was 300 minutes. So here we have got the components, and the simple occupancy rate would be your the value which we have just found out, which is productive time, and divided total shift timing of one agent. So here 46.25. So you can see that why we are getting 46.25. First of all, we have to convert these hours into seconds, right? So simply just calculate it, agent shift. So here we have 8 hours. So here we have 8 hours. Just select hours and multiply it by 60 to convert into minutes. So these are the minutes we have after the calculation. Now simply apply the formula here. So the formula would be your productive time divided by agent shift timing. So you can see that this one, and let's convert that into percentage. So the occupancy rate was 77%, in which you can see that agent was actually occupied for 77% of 100% of shift. So you can also calculate unproductive time by this calculation. So we have equal to your 1 minus 77%. So that would be 23%. Agent was actually unproductive. So that is very high. So we need to aim for that the agent should be having very good schedule efficiency, adherence rate, and the higher productive time. So that will increase the revenue. Shift inflex is used to measure the efficiency of the scheduling process and indicates the additional staffing scheduled above the requirement. So it means that how well the scheduling process is that to avoid overlapping of the staffing during the intervals. And this also tells about what is the difference between the actual and the required agent. So now it's time to calculate how we can calculate the shift inflex calculation. Suppose actual agent I have is 100 for any particular interval, then required agent is only 95. So what would be the shift inflex? So the shift inflex is the overlapping of the staffing during the interval. So the formula would be your actual minus required divided by your required. So the shift inflex for that interval is 5%. I hope that is clear. So now let's move on to the another example. Let's say that FTE requirement at 11 a.m. interval is 25 and the requirement at 11:30 a.m. is 30 agents. We have a batch of agents whose shift starts at 11 a.m. So to meet the requirement at 11:30 interval, we will schedule 30 people at 11 a.m. This will result in having 5 excess FTE at 11 a.m. interval, which is to ensure that the service level can be met and to improve the answer performance. So I hope you like this video. Please subscribe and share.